Or just put a one or a period in chat if you can see my screen. Cool. All right, sounds good. So just starting out things with BTC here, guys. Um, of course, today price action has been a little choppy. So looking at things, pretty much as Bitcoin came up to hit our highs of this range here, we essentially, in my opinion, like the way that I've been looking at it is we hit value area high again after tapping it so many times already. Kind of annoying on BTC because BTC loves tapping highs multiple times. I mean, it's good if you're in positions and, it's good for scalpers. However, if you're just trying to, for breakout traders waiting for breakouts of this range to the upside, this is madness pretty much. Not only did you take out the highs from yesterday, but you also took out the highs from, I think this was Saturday night. You pretty much hit them perfectly for an SFP here. And so that's what happened there. And then in terms of like what I see now, we can look at low time frames so I can show you guys. Let's see. Low time frames, you're starting to get some divergences built up here. So I would not be surprised if you get like a small bounce right now. I like what I'm seeing in terms of just like a range. Like I think this wouldn't surprise me if it bounces to the upside here. You're also still technically holding this demand line, so that looks fine. Um, but overall, I wouldn't honestly be looking to take a trade right now. I don't really like this level, besides it being the demand line, and because you have low time frame divergences, I would actually really like to more so take a trade if you get Monday lows, which is this level here, 57,588 or so, where this wick is. I feel like that would be a nice area to be looking to take along, just because like not only is that Monday lows, but if you look at this in terms of a range, guys, you've got a pretty clear range in my opinion here overall. Like you've got this level at 57,572. You got a bounce there while we were chopping on the dump, and that was a level that Bitcoin had some trouble breaking back above here. And so it coming down to retest it, in my opinion, could be a nice. It could actually be a nice area to be looking to take some longs. So I would be interested in buying at that level. So that's pretty much area number one that I'm looking to take a trade off of. Is this level at 57,500? Next, I'm looking to potentially take a trade at this value area low at 56K. Hey guys, I'll be right back. let me make sure my volume's back on. Okay. So yeah, that's area number 1 I'm looking to take along. Area number 2, like I said, I'm looking at this value area low here of this range. If I go to the daily chart on BTC2, pull this across, you can see that is actually the beginning of a daily order block that we have here on Bitcoin. So as a result, I think you have a pretty good amount of confluence there to take some longs. And also just looking left, like that's pretty much bottom side of range as well with these daily closes. And so as you can see, daily closes here, daily closes here. And so in my opinion, you got a pretty good amount of confluence there besides the value area low. I think it's also like the mid range. If you turn on your mid fib here, yeah, it's right there at 55,923. So pretty good confluence at that level. So that'd be long area number 2. And then really the last one I would be more so interested in. If you lose the value area low here, I would just be interested in jumping in on a sweep. That's pretty much it. So if you get a sweep of these lows here, you could even front run them a bit. I would be looking to long the sweep, and this would be like a pretty much like reactionary trade, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't actually be looking to set any limit orders at this low. I'd be looking to just like wait to see if you get even a reaction at these levels. This trade, guys, wouldn't be one that is like, you know, immediate. Like I would be really reliant on price action at that moment to give me like an indication of where we could be going, because whenever it comes to taking trades like these, you got to be really careful because you don't want to be catching a falling knife. And so I would be waiting. I would be looking for the wick for price action to come down. It depends on what it's doing too. Like if this is like a jackknife down, if you see like Bitcoin on a 1 hour candle pretty much break down this entire range, I probably wouldn't be looking to take this trade. Like I think there would probably be some FUD involved at that point, and price action would very likely be pretty much looking to start dumping hard under this wick low at that point. So that would be a different story. If it's just like a slow grind down, like something like, I don't know, something like this, pretty much it's pretty much a slow grind down, then I'd be more interested. So yeah, 3 long scenarios there on BTC. And then we can go ahead and take a look at ETH as well. I wanted to also give you guys a heads up on one more thing. And it actually is my crypto and stock class that I am starting this Friday. So if you guys are interested in it, I still have a couple of spots left. I have 4 now left in my class. Barrett took my class before. Shunya might be taking my class. And if you guys are interested, I do have a couple spots left. I just want to be able to put that out there for you guys. I've gave a couple of longs already to him yesterday, and I think I had 5 people join my class Sunday, and all 5 of those people said yesterday that they made their entire class feedback already. So I was pretty happy about that. And if you guys are interested, just let me know and I can hook you up with some details. But yeah, other than that, let's take a look at Ethereum here. So let's go on like the lower time frames here in Ethereum first. Lower time frame wise, I see a lot of confluence at these lower levels for potential longs, guys. So in terms of like volume profiles here, this value area low of this range that we have going on ETH, like if I hide this for a second, you guys can see the range I'm talking about a little better. So I'm pretty much viewing this range as lows at 25.59, highs here at 27.93. And so let me go ahead. Where is my object tree? So that's where I'm getting that from, like why I'm taking my pull from here. Yeah, this is like a pretty much the perfect place for me to want to take my longs. It's right at this level. You just have a lot of confluence at that point. And so that being the value area low of our range, and then, taking a golden pocket fib pull from this low to our current highs that we made this morning. Just a lot of different reasons to take a scalp trade there. Other than that, only other places that I would be looking at potential trades are pretty much ultimate range lows here. Go to the 4 hours, see if I see very much. I'd honestly tighten this up a little bit. Do you have a daily level there? Yeah, you got a daily here, actually. So because this is a daily, you have more confluence to take a trade here. So this would be area number 2 I'm looking at for ETH, taking a trade at this daily level. And then lastly, if none of these areas work out, then I would just be looking for value area low, golden pocket here. And that's pretty much it. Well, there's one more, and that is a higher time frame chart. Yep, Dan was in there. He's one of the guys I'm talking about. How do I know if I take the first long or the second long? Yeah, good question. So pretty much like looking at this, these are all levels that I am interested in taking trades at, but it depends. So for me, if we're slowly coming down to one of these levels, like, if we're coming down to this mid range, my first long, and I see price action coming to my level, I'm going to get on like a lower time frame chart, like a 1 minute or 5 minute, and I'm going to see if once we hit that level, if we actually get a reaction, or if the 1 to 5 minute just starts immediately closing under it. If I see this level being hit and there's like an immediate buyback on a wick, and I see like price action hitting it and then coming down, and then price action hits it, and then there's like a wick to the trade, and then like I would probably wait for like a 5 minute wick to the upside, and then I would buy, for example. But if I immediately see price action come to that level and close like a 1 or 5 minute, really 5 minute is my main strategy, right under that level, then I will not long until I see at least a reclaim. So if a 5 minute hits that level, closes below it, I won't long until like I see another 5 minute candle, for example, close back above it and reclaim it. So I really need to see reclaims. Thoughts on Soul? Yeah, we can take a look at Soul. Okay, so Soul here, it's really not looking very good. I'm not gonna lie. So just looking at this here, this just looks like a stop run pretty much. Like you took out the wicks from yesterday, you took out these wicks as well. So in my opinion, it just came up, took the liquidity at there, just, and obviously as you can see, it just bartered back down. So to me, that was all that was, is a stop run. And at this point, I would not be surprised if these levels do not hold on Soul, if this thing comes pretty hard, comes down pretty hard. to take a trade at. Something like this. If it's going to put in a higher low, it really should be about here. If you don't get that, then look for the S&P of the lows here. And then really on the daily, like Sol is one of the only ones that's actually holding range lows throughout this entire dump. Like it's held all of this entire range for a long time. However, if things start breaking back below 120 on the daily, then that's when you need to start looking for these lower prices. In these lower prices, I'm talking about this range right here that you had pretty much at the end of last year into the beginning of this year. This is where you should pretty much start looking to look for more buy opportunities if Sol starts losing 120 on the daily. I would be more so interested in pretty much like, I don't know. I like this wick for a potential scalp, but really at like $99 to $100, this is like my main areas. Like $100 would be where I would be start to get pretty interested in Sol, and then like 88 to 87. We're a long way from there, of course, for now, but definitely just keep those areas on your radar. And I think you asked like what I expect for Sol this week. It's pretty much like I think this might break to the downside, honestly. Like this looks pretty weak. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. That it will reach 200 by December. I mean, it kind of just depends. December, it depends on the overall market. So, like if BTC pulls back, then Sol's gonna pull back. And in my opinion, like it depends on how far BTC pulls back, the Sol's gonna show weakness. So, like if we look at Sol BTC here, it's not. I don't think it's looking super great. Do you have 4-hour divergences here? Not really. I wouldn't consider that to be 4-hour divergences. Hmm. Okay. So Sol BTC here. It's still uptrending, yes. It's still pushing to the upside. It's kind of a weird looking chart, not gonna lie. Made a slightly higher high than these highs. This doesn't look terrible yet, but it doesn't look great necessarily. Like I feel like if it comes down to these wick lows, I'm not sure it'll hold. And then overall, like I think on Sol BTC, a really important area to be looking at would be this 0.202 Satoshi zone. If you start seeing that getting lost, then I think this could start breaking down. But it doesn't look bad now. It's too early to really just say that this thing's gonna break down, in my opinion. Yeah, good question. So in terms of my classes, they are all recorded. And so they are every Friday for 4 weeks, starting this Friday. I go from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. live, and that's Central US time. So pretty much like 2.5 hours before this current time is when I start on Fridays. It's about like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. You can ask questions. Like it's definitely it's very informal. Like it's pretty much just like you're seeing here with my Discord live. I share my screen, go over my PowerPoint, go over TradingView, teach you guys that way. And then every class is recorded if people can't be there live, which is really nice. That's something that has helped a lot of people out, and you guys can ask me questions whenever you'd like. Like I said, I give exclusive calls just to you guys as a thank you for taking it. Just I want to give back to you guys somehow, and yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Anything else you guys want to look at? Any other trades? Any other? I mean, of course trades, but any other coins you want to look at? XRP, gold, and GBP. Okay, damn. I mean, I can look at gold and GBP, but I'm not really the one to ask about about like it depends on your time frame. Like I don't look at them like ever. Pretty much I'm pretty much just a crypto trader, so I can try to help. My TA skills like they work for it, but it's because when it comes to assets, as you guys know, like asset classes all work different. Like say for example, like crypto is very volatile, right? You can get huge moves within days and within a day itself. However, when it comes to like stocks, for example, you can have huge accumulation phases for weeks on end, months on end, and then you have to be ready to time the impulse moves. So, but I can still try. So I actually looked at XRP today already, so I can show you what I thought about it. So I pretty much like on the lower time frames here on XRP, I already see like this sort of pennant breakdown, and you also have a bearish retest here. So I would not be surprised to see this continue to downtrend here, at least to retap these lows at 545. That wouldn't surprise me necessarily. So if it rejected here, came down here, could be looking for a potential double bottom. But yeah, kind of looking to take a short here, and I would just have stops below 574 or so. When it comes to looking at open interest, funding rates, CVD, so many things people see to trade over TA. I wouldn't say like I trade them over TA, but I definitely use like spot CVD and open interest to help me get a gauge on my trades. So, for example, like there's this website I use called Velo Data that helps me take a look at those and helps me pretty much get an idea of what buyers and sellers are doing. So Velo helps me get an idea of like which way open interest is ticking up, which way spot volume is going. Are spot buyers in the market right now, or are they actually buying coins, or are they just holding back? And this is all like futures driven, for example. So in my opinion, I use it as a supplement for my technical analysis, but I do not trade it over my TA. I think they can be very helpful, but in my opinion, those are good tools. Um, I think price action first and foremost is probably the most key, because what I will say is that people who use open interest, who use spot CVD and all of that, first and foremost, they sometimes like see the market literally just be irrational longer than they expect. So like for example, they see a fuel to the upside is being led by open interest and is being led by pretty much like perpetual volume rather than spot volume. And they're like, okay, I should probably short into this because if this is being led by futures, then it's probably going to mean a dump is coming soon since there's no spot buyers in the market. Well, usually something that like that ends with you shorting and shorting and shorting, waiting for that dump, and then you probably do get the move in the end, and it probably does dump like you expected, but it's all a timing thing. And if you can't time it correctly, then you'll probably just get liquidated or stopped before you even get the opportunity. And so best thing is to just like know that's going on from an open interest and from a volume point of view, but then use price action to help you find your levels that you want to take trades at. So don't just look at open interest and volume and take trades based off of that just at current market price, because it tells you what is happening at current market price, right? It doesn't necessarily tell you what's happening at certain levels. And so as a result, like it can only tell you the here and now, but you have to wait for price to come to levels that you're really interested in to be able to really take your trades. So hopefully that helps. I can look at gold. Let's take a look at gold. I'm not sure if I can give you the best analysis on this though, but I'll try. Wow. Gold went for that triple top, huh? Man, honestly, like this thing looks like it's getting close to a short-term top on the weekly. Like these divergences are really prominent at this point. And it doesn't necessarily have to, fully break down or anything, but it would be nice to see gold at least come down to retest this breakout. Of course, you have to see range lows lost here first, but I would just keep these specific areas on my chart. Just have them marked. Thanks. I appreciate you watching my video. Probably not going to look at GBP just because I'm going to answer like one of everyone's questions. And then if I have time at the end, I'll go back and do your second ticker just so I can make sure everyone gets one of their questions answered. Uh, let's take a look at others dominance because a lot of those go together, like total 3. It's pretty much others dominance. It's just like excluding the top 10 versus excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So others dominance, I was actually looking at this, coming to an interesting point because it is right at support. In my opinion, you don't necessarily have like, I will say like, I don't know, hidden weekly bullish divergence here. You did make lower lows on the RSI. But overall, you are at support. This is true. And in my opinion, because you may necessarily have to me, it looks like all coins are getting ready for a bounce based off of this chart. I like this chart. It actually looks pretty good. I mean, as long as you're holding trend to the upside, this doesn't look bad like in the slightest. What about this? That's interesting. You've got double harmonics here. That's cool. So we'll see. We'll see if these play out. But so far, I mean, if you do get a move back here, like at least to your A to C point, then altcoins could really get going here. Because others dominance again, this is the market cap of all cryptos excluding the top 10. Yeah, I'll be doing another class in a couple months. Probably at the end of October is when I'll do more signups. So no worries. I do them every couple months for those that can't be there. Yeah, of course. We should probably look at BTC dominance as well, because BTC dominance is going to be a really big factor when it comes to others' dominance. So, in my opinion, BTC dominance has come up to a very important support resistance zone on the weekly. I actually think that I would not be surprised if this is putting in a short-term top, is how I'm looking at this. I don't think this is top for the cycle by any means, but I think it could come down, retest this zone. And it could, of course, continue going. But I think for now, it's probably not going to just immediately break such an important SR level. I think hitting it, getting a retrace, and then trying again later wouldn't surprise me. And this probably just lines up, honestly, guys, with altcoins being stronger throughout the next like month. That means Bitcoin's probably just going to chop around. And it probably means Ethereum's going to be stronger. This chart finally came to some important levels. Let me actually pull it up on here. Like on a higher time frame, ETH BTC finally came down to retest the support resistance level. So, in my opinion, like this coincides pretty well with Bitcoin dominance being short-term topped, at least. Yeah, it's because like to post them, I have to do Command V, and then sometimes it just does V, and so it posts, it hits the button, and that's it. All right. I'll look at Zcash really quick, but I do have to go pretty soon, guys. So looking at Zcash here, this thing is finally rounding. I don't think it's necessarily just like rounding for a let's just call it like a short, like a bottom overall. Like I think that in my opinion this probably does something like this. It comes down, maybe comes to take the lows again, chops around a bit, and then starts to curl up. I feel like it just immediately blasting off from here would be surprising. So I would be looking for it to pull back. I would not be looking to buy here yet, but I'd probably start layering in if it comes down to 35, and then I would layer in all the way down to 18. Because this is when I do want to hold some spot in. So if it does pull back, I would be interested. All right, guys. That'll probably do it for the stream today. Sorry that I had to finish up early. I'll post a USDT dominance chart on my channel. Don't worry, Barrett. I got you. But in the meantime, just let me know if you guys have any questions throughout the week at me in chat, and I'll catch you guys soon. Okay. All right, everyone. Have a great day. See you guys next week. Okay. All right. Peace.